Greetings everyone, my name is Rahul Mishra. Today we will discuss about the need and importance of digital forensics. Why is digital forensics so important today? Why do we need it? Let's do a quick recap of what digital forensics is before moving on to its need and importance. Now, digital forensics is a branch of forensics which focuses on the recovery and investigation of material found in digital devices, often related to computer crime. This is what we understood before. The main aim of digital forensics is to preserve any evidence in its most original form while performing a structured investigation by collecting, identifying and validating the digital information for the purpose of reconstructing past events. Internet has rapidly grown since its birth and it's growing immensely and very fast. With its growth, the amount of data is also growing. Most of the daily activities are now done via internet. Organizations are using internet for business expansion. Users use internet for education, entertainment, shopping and so on. This also attracts a lot of criminals who intend to harm the users. Committing a cybercrime is a lot easier than robbing a bank. To commit cybercrime, the criminal does not need to be physically present at the scene. No hard work needed. It is also very difficult to trace back the activities. So, cybercrime has grown a lot. Even if you catch the intruder, you need to present some evidence against the attacker in order to prove him or her guilty in front of the court. This is where digital forensics come in. With the help of digital forensics, a huge amount of data is collected in short time. The data is then examined and certain information related to the crime are found out. With that information, the whole scenario of the crime is attempted to be recreated and evidence are properly documented so that it is admissible to the court. This is why we need digital forensics. Other requirements of digital forensics are: first, operational troubleshooting. Many forensics tools and techniques can be applied to troubleshoot operational issues, such as finding the virtual and physical location of a host with an incorrect network configuration, resolving a functional problem with an application, and recording and reviewing the current operating system and application configuration settings for a host. Second is log monitoring. Now, various tools and techniques can assist in log monitoring, such as analyzing log entries and correlating log entries across multiple systems. This can assist in incident handling, identifying policy violations, auditing and other efforts. We will do a small case study here. Now, we had a small WordPress e-commerce website which was running easy digital downloads. The site typically only generated between 30 to 40 MB a day in bandwidth and a couple of hundred visitors every day. Back in June, it started using a lot of bandwidth out of the blue, without Google Analytics showing any additional traffic. The site instantly went to between 15 to 19 GB of data transfer a day. That is an increase of 4650%, not good. And it is definitely not just a little increase in bot traffic. Thankfully, the owner was able to quickly spot this. After seeing the increase, it was a matter of checking the server logs to investigate what was happening. These types of things can easily spin out of control. The past 7 days showed that the site's account or page had been requested more than 5 lakh times and produced a total of 66 GB of traffic. That is from a site that typically generates a little over 1 GB of total data in an entire month. So, instantly they knew something was up. Analyzing the top 10 client IPs for the last 7 days to the site instantly showed some suspicious activity. A majority of them had over 10,000 requests and there were quite a few. Now remember, this is a small site which was only should be getting a couple thousand requests total per month. You can always rely on Google to provide you with data. Entering in a couple of top IPs into search, they could easily see that most of them were all proxy addresses, meaning someone was most likely wanting to hide their traffic. So, they understood that it was a typical DDoS attack. DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service Attack. They immediately took necessary measures. Firstly, they changed the site URL to temporarily stop the attack. Then they tried to block certain IP addresses which was generating traffic. That worked temporarily, but the attackers kept changing the IP addresses. So, they moved to Cloudflare, which assisted them by blocking all the incoming bot traffic. Cloudflare provides DDoS mitigation solutions. They also set up new firewall rules to block any IP addresses which is generating huge amount of hits in 1 minute. Data recovery. There are dozens of tools that can recover lost data from systems, including data that has been accidentally or purposely deleted or otherwise modified. The amount of data that can be recovered varies on a case to case basis. We will go through a small case study here. The murder of a 25-year-old woman working in an underground illegal animal gambling game in Brazil seemed to have been solved. The police found the man who murdered her and obtained his confession. However, after recovering digital conversations from his smartphone, investigators found that he did not act alone, contrary to his testimony. Using Cellebrite UFED Ultimate, they managed to recover conversations showing that the murderer relied on accomplices who helped him get to the place and flee from there by car. He also had acted on orders from another criminal who was sitting in a prison cell and had been the one that ordered and arranged the murder. This particular conversation was given by Arturo Lira dos Santos, criminal expert of ICP Brazil. Now, we will come to data acquisition. Some organizations use forensics tools to acquire data from hosts that are being redeployed or retired. For example, when a user leaves an organization, the data from the user's workstation can be acquired and stored in case it is needed in the future. The workstation's media can then be sanitized to remove all of the original user's data. Now, we will come to due diligence or regulatory compliance. Existing and emerging regulations require many organizations to protect sensitive information and maintain certain records for audit purposes. Also, when protected information is exposed to other parties, organizations may be required to notify other agencies or impacted individuals. Forensics can help organizations exercise due diligence and comply with such requirement. Coming to the importance of digital forensics, computers can yield evidence of a wide range of criminal and other unlawful activities. Many criminals engaged in murder, kidnapping, terrorism, gun dealing, gambling, economic crimes, confidence games and criminal hacking maintain files with incriminating evidence on their computer. Sometimes the information on the computer is key to identify a subject and sometimes the computer yields the most important evidence. I will give you a small demo of Balak Advisor here. We will show how we audit a system using Balak Advisor. This software scans the content of the registry to generate a human readable report of the system, which includes hardware specifications, which includes software specifications and much more. In order to use it, we double click on Balak and provide with all the necessary permissions. After that, here it might ask for checking updates. We click on No. Then it will start scanning the system. It takes a while to complete the system scanning process. In our case, it took 3 minutes. Now, it asks for the permission to scan the local network. If you want to scan it, you can leave it as it is, or else you can skip the step. So, it has generated a report. It is time to take a look at the actual PC inventory it produces. As you can see, the top portion of the inventory page displays information about the machine's hardware and its operating system. The inventory report begins by showing you the computer name and the domain that the computer belongs to. As you can see, we are using a computer named laptop, followed by a unique set of characters that exist in a group named as work group. The summary section also displays the date that the current profile was created, the Balak Advisor version being used, and the name of the user who is presently logged in. If you look below the profile summary section, you will see the name of the operating system that is installed, along with any information on service packs. You can see the operating system running, which in this case is Windows 10 Home 64-bit edition with English language pack installed. Next to operating system, we have the system brand ASUSTeK Computer Corporation with the model ASUS ASUS TUF Gaming. It also provides other details like system serial number and chassis serial number. The next area of interest is the processor section. The processor section tells you the system's clock speed, processor type, and the sizes of the level 1 and level 2 caches. Here we have the processor, which is 2.1 gigahertz AMD Ryzen 5 with 4 cores and 8 threads and with 3 cache memories of 384 KB, 2 MB and 4 MB each. Next to it, we have details of the main circuit board. The board belongs to ASUSTeK Computer Corporation. The clock speed is 100 megahertz and the serial number is also mentioned. Next, we have the hard drive details. Here we see it is a Micron hard drive of size 512 GB. To the right, we can see 2 RAM slots, one of which is 8 GB and the serial number mentioned, while the other is empty. Below that, we see 2 logical drives available, mainly C and D. Following, we have the last login information, which includes login user info along with the date and time of login. There are other hardware details also available like printer configuration, display details, network card details and so on. We also have virus protection details mentioned. Then we have a network map, which shows a list of devices connected to the local network. For example, in this case, we have a TP-Link router, a Xiaomi device and a Windows system, which is the one we are operating on. After that, we will see a list of software which are licensed. For example, Microsoft 365, Windows 10, VMware and so on. The license number is also mentioned in the list. Then comes a complete list of software which are installed in the system. For example, we can see Adobe software, ASUSTeK software and Microsoft software. So, this is how we generate a report of the system. This report can be used in forensics before conducting any investigation on the system, or can also be used as a proof in EULA, also stands for End User License Agreement Auditing. Digital forensics have grown into such importance because people are relying more on technology for their smooth workflow and also because of the increasing rate of cyber crimes. The losses are in huge number.